every like 4 out of the 5 Latino students that I've met were construction science majors. No bullshit.
Science. Yeah.
They were all, and I'm like, bro, why? why did y'all stay with the stereotype, bro? Like,
yeah, no. Like, and you know what's funny?
How did you pick construction science?
Bro, my brain is on repeat. Soy la 69.
No, me too. I can't stop saying that. Soy la 69. Welcome back, everybody, to the Scattered Roots podcast. What's up, Rudy, man? How are you today?
I'm doing well, man. You know what I'm saying? Just out here being the 69.
Yeah, out here being the 69. Where you from?
Hey, yo soy from Riverside.
Soy la Chingona.
Bro, you think she intentionally, like, she has to know it's bad?
I don't know anything about her.
I saw like a clip the other day. I don't know if it was on TikTok or on Twitter where it was, but it was basically like her saying like, "Thank you to everyone. Like, I'm trending on YouTube. I'm number 1. Blah 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 blah. Like, I'm so excited." Like, do you think she's aware? Like, she's a meme. Like, and does she care?
Probably yes and no.
Like,
I would assume our man.
She's like, we just played this song.
Yeah. Exactly. No,
it's
like,
viral.
It's fucking a terrible song, right? I think we can all agree.
She's making bread off of it, though.
Yeah, like, no one can stop saying like, "So we're not the only ones." Like, people are like,
that was living in my head, bro. I'm pretty sure I had a dream last night where I was like telling myself, "Soy la 69." Like, in every aspect of my life, I want to be the 69.
Soy la 69. Oh my god, such a
Soy la Chingona que salió de Riverside.
Oh
hey, and then that last, like the little that was so bad.
The harmonies on her, bro.
It's got me in a chokehold. She has to know. You know, I think that's a great way of kind of moving into this piece, right?
When are you gonna drop a song for the podcast? And
when are you gonna drop the videos?
Hey, now why are you deflecting?
Hey, no, I'm not deflecting. When are you gonna drop the videos?
I asked the question first.
There's value in. Hey, this is very vulnerable of her.
No
right?
one wants to see that.
To drop a track that sucks. And then not just like drop it, but like promote it and actively like thank people for listening.
She has a whole fucking music video to that.
So
there's a lot of production value that went into this.
You should drop it too.
No.
Everyone, please message Kevin and his brother Chris. Because if Chris is in the videos too, I just found out. There's about 6 videos from when Kevin was 15, 16 years old, dancing, doing dumb shit that we all need to see. So hit his line, make sure, get it trending on Twitter, drop the vids.
Nobody needs
Drop the vids. Drop the vids. But okay, no, let's get back into the topic.
What are we doing today, Rudy? Shut up.
So today's conversation, we decided that we want to talk a little bit about, and we kind of alluded to this in episodes prior, right, where we said we were kind of mentioning it at some point, and that's higher education, specifically like in talking about our experiences in college and kind of we'll talk a little bit about our experiences after college, but I think we mainly want to focus about our journey into college and then our journey while we were in college, if that makes sense.
Yeah, college, good old days, man.
Where should we start? Hey, it's crazy. That was actually a long time ago now.
Yeah, like at this point, I've been working longer than I was in college.
Yeah, but you graduated like 4 years, like, right? You were like the
regular digger that was on time.
Yeah, I took a victory lap, and my life is.
You were a super senior?
I was a super senior. And you know what's funny? It was my own fault. Because
it usually is, isn't it?
Because it wasn't because like I failed any classes or because of anything. It was literally because I didn't trust advisors, and then I ended up advising myself in a way where like I hoed myself basically. It was one of those where like I took the wrong class that like I needed for like other classes, and so like it put me back, and so it was like whatever.
Advisors are.
But I never failed a class in college.
They're mad trash. They're
Did
confusing.
you ever fail?
Did I fail? No.
No, yeah, you never failed anything.
No.
Fucking.
Well, I've
dweeb.
Failed plenty of things, but
yeah, those videos that you made.
Yeah. Yes. No, but how long did it actually take you to graduate?
5 years.
5 years?
Yeah.
So 2 extra semesters you ended up doing?
Yeah, and like literally, and so like, because of that, I ended up taking like a bunch of like business classes that I didn't have to because like I said, like it wasn't a matter of like me having to like retake classes because I failed them. It was because I
So you're taking like very few hours those like last semester?
Yeah, like I was pretty much just like being able to do what I needed to do, and I never didn't take more than full time because I was like, if I'm gonna be paying for a semester, I'm just gonna like take other classes that I think are interesting. So like I took a couple of classes that I just thought were interesting at that time to fill in the void because not being full time would have been weird. But besides that, let's give I guess people a little bit of background. So we mentioned before, me and Kevin went to the same high school. We went to a school called Townview. specifically Science and Engineering Magnet, SEM. Shout out to the boys, class of 2012. Hey, are you going to the reunion?
Oh shit, that reunion is being planned.
Yeah.
Are you going, Johnny?
Are you going, Johnny?
What?
You're not invited to the reunion?
Johnny also went to high school with us.
I didn't know anything.
There's like a thing on there's a Facebook group.
Yeah.
So like,
You don't have Facebook at all, or you don't get on Facebook?
I think Marcos initiated it. I think
Marcos and Ian are the people that are. Which I actually ran into I ran into Ian. He was like, "Hey, send me your email. I need your email for the."
Oh, did you win?
This is like 2 weeks ago.
He works in like the same office building I do.
He told me actually. He was like, "Yeah, like I know I can get Kevin's email because like we work like close by or whatever."
Yeah.
Another.
Yeah, they're organizing a like get together. There's like a spreadsheet. Provide your email and they'll send you the details.
High school reunion, bro. It's so weird because like when I it makes me think back to like being in high school and being like, why do people plan high school reunions? Old ass like weird people, and now it's us.
Yeah.
Now I'm the old weird person.
It would be almost our 10-year reunion.
It's our 10-year reunion. Yeah, it'd be 10 years.
We graduated 2012.
Yeah, we're in 2021.
Yeah, so like, is this next year?
2022. Yeah.
Well, that's why.
Kevin can add everybody.
No, bitch. I was assuming this shit was happening like in a month or two. That's why I'm like, it's 9 years right now.
No, they're
like,
planning it right now for next year.
Oh, it's actually happening next year. See, that's the part I didn't know.
Yeah, it's happening next year.
I thought it was like.
So anyone that listens to this podcast that went to high school with us, Ian Nord is looking for your email so he can forward you the details to the reunion. So
I love Ian.
Send him your email. Hey, Ian said he would listen to the podcast. He said that he saw your post on Facebook about it. He said that you got on Facebook and said, "Hey, I don't get on here often, but I have a podcast. Listen to it."
And he didn't listen to it.
And he was like, "Yeah, like I think he's doing it with somebody." And I was like, "Yeah, it's me."
I am him.
He didn't know that it was me that was doing it. He was like, he brought it up thinking like I wouldn't know about it. I was like, yeah, it's actually my podcast too. He was like, oh, okay, cool.
What's up, Ian? If you're here.
Yeah. So hey, everyone, send Ian your email, please. He's been asking for it. I sent him mine, and then he still asked it for it. So I have a Facebook, but I don't use Facebook. I haven't posted really on Facebook in like 6 or 7 years. But Johnny, you don't have one at all. It's really the way people like communicate from high school. Like everyone that like stayed in touch like past high school is like through Facebook. I feel like.
You think that's just our generation? I think,
yeah,
right?
I think so.
You think if we were like maybe like just 2 years older, we would have used MySpace, like stayed on MySpace?
Nah, MySpace died like completely.
Damn. I miss MySpace.
I'd never really used MySpace either.
What a time.
Yeah, Instagram and Twitter.
You didn't have a top 5?
I did. So like I did for like a year. I had like MySpace for like a year. All right, let's get past this. I don't want to talk about high school and all this shit. This is gonna bring back. We're gonna start talking.
Who was on your top 5 though?
I'm gonna start talking about my exes again. Let's not do that.
Oh no, we don't need that anymore. We've had enough.
They were all my top 5. Yeah, they just kept them.
Just all your exes. Dang, who was the one?
Honestly, I didn't have that many, so I don't know. Why I'm upset. I don't have enough to make a top 5.
You could change. It could be top 3. I remember that.
Oh, that's right.
You can make it all the way to like top 24.
I feel like the biggest part of MySpace was having your song, right? Like your song was all about like
and your layout. You have to have your layout all clean.
I guess that's true. Like I don't know. Like I said, I didn't really do it that much, but all right, let's get past that.
All right.
So Kevin and I, like I said, we went to the same high school, and I think I would say most people in our high school ended up going to some type of higher education. Right.
Yeah, but that's only because, it was a magnet school.
It was a magnet
school. They pushed
school.
like AP testing down your throat. They pushed, they basically,
Yeah, you took how many AP tests again?
21.
And
19?
you passed how many?
19.
Yeah, I know the number was 19 actually because I've asked you this question before.
Yeah, 19.
And how many did you pass?
All of them.
Fucking genius, bro. Literally, I get so hard thinking about how smart Kevin is.
Excuse me? That's why he got the eggplant emoji last time.
Oh, yeah. If y'all haven't seen the last episode where we were going through our reactions for Happy Hispanic Heritage Month, please do. Johnny dropped some dimes in there that literally water came out of my nose when I was watching these hoes. So please go check out the YouTube. Johnny puts in a lot of work. Most of them are at my expense, which is fine, I guess. It's fine. I'll talk to my therapist about it. But there's a lot of really good work, so go check that out. But no, let's get into college. So like I said, most of the people that we went to high school with went to some kind of like higher education program. So I think my perception is a little bit skewed, but when you look...
2 out of the 3 people in this.
Well, no, you went to... but you still went to, like, college, right? Like,
I was supposed to go to UTD, but that's when I got cancer.
That's right. For people that don't know, Johnny ended up having cancer. And what kind of cancer was it? Lymphoma? Maybe we need to have an episode where we dive into that, because that's actually... And you know what's funny? I've never wanted to bring it up, because I'm like, Johnny's probably tired of, like, people asking him about this shit, so I just leave it alone. But you were supposed to go to UTD? And then you just like didn't go, but you still went to like a community college afterwards, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I thought it was gonna be too long.
yeah. No, I mean that's fair.
Respect.
But for the most part, and there's other people like that we went to high school with that didn't end up pursuing, which is fine. Like I'm definitely more on that boat now than I was before. Like I think SEM made me think that like you have to do this, you have to like go to like a university and like you have to like do engineering, STEM. Like in reality, you don't. But it's also something that I will advocate for because I think there's a lot of value in it. Especially like once I think you get older and like and we'll touch a little bit on this, right? But when you're seeking like opportunities, whether it's in a corporate environment or just in the job market in general, like the ability to leverage a degree in some kind of way, especially if it's in STEM, like it's any kind of analytical degree, you have more options in front of you than if you hadn't. So I'm an advocate, but I also understand people that say like, hey, it's not for me. Like that's cool.
Cool. Well, with that being said, we can wrap up today's episode.
That's going to be the overarching message. No, but I think I want to talk a bit about like what those spaces look like because so we went to two very different universities. I went to the University of North Texas.
I went to Yee University.
And you went to Yeehaw. You went to Texas A&M. And we talked about that before. What was your experience like once you got there?
Damn, do you want me to like sum it up all in one?
Because like to give context on the not only was our high school like a magnet school and it kind of pushed this, but it was also
in the hood.
It was minority. Yeah, exactly. There was a lot of minorities.
Yeah.
Which for me,
Ian was in the minority over there.
Yeah, Ian was in the minority. Yeah. He was like one of like 5 white people that was like we went to high school with. Yeah. But then y'all both went to A&M, and then like the dynamic completely changed. So do you want to talk a little bit about like what that was like?
I mean, yeah, I definitely. We've said it before. It was a super big cultural shock for me. I don't know what I was expecting, to be honest. I don't think I put a lot of thought into the decision. Well, okay, I did, but so I've told you before that like I flipped a coin, right, to decide where I was going to go to school.
No way.
Yeah, so like I had offers from both, right? Like
from where? UT and
UT Austin and
Texas A&M.
Texas A&M. And I'm like, damn, where should I go? Like, you know, they each had their pros and cons, whatever, blah blah blah. And I just couldn't come to a decision. So on like the last day, I like literally, I swear to you, I flipped a quarter and came up A&M.
And that's what did it?
And that's, yeah, like it was that thing where like, you know, you flip a coin and if like you don't like, you just
pick the other one. Trick. That's a trick that my ex showed me. But if you flip a coin and then like it lands on something and if you're disappointed, then you know you wanted it to land on the other side, so then you do the other thing.
Exactly. So that was my thought. Because I couldn't come to a decision, right? Like I said, A&M, I was like, okay, like academically, they were like pretty equal engineering wise. Like I think I had more friends going to A&M, right? Like Melanie was going, Ian was going, and there was a couple other people that were planning on going.
Ermilo was
he ended up going later on.
Yeah.
And whereas Austin was like, okay, Austin's like a city. I thought UT Austin was like just cooler, like a cooler school, right? The Longhorns, just whatever. Like it had its own things. But regardless, it came to like a draw, and I was like, I can't. So I flipped the coin, it came to A&M, and I was like, well, I'm cool with that.
That you were cool with like just going there. How interesting. Dang. What a way to put like your life's fate in
in fate?
Yeah, in a coin flip.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So I ended up going there and I mean I wish I would have thought of that aspect though, of like the country aspect. So did you not consider that at all? Like
no,
making I don't
decision,
think so.
Like the cultural difference?
I truly don't think. I think I oversaw that. Like it was a major oversight on my part.
And do you think that's because like what it looked like for us at our high school, like we were just kind of, that's not something we ever considered really, right? Like, oh, you know, everyone like going to A&M is going to be the same as like, you know, high school. Like there's not going to be this culture shock that I'm expecting.
Yeah, probably a little bit of that as well. And then for me particularly, it was like I never visited any campuses, right? Like we weren't privileged. When I say we, I mean my family, to like go around traveling and shit, even to places like that were that close or whatever. So I never visited any camp. If I would have gone to like College Station.
So you had you made no visits?
No, 0.
Yeah, I didn't either. But
so if I would have gone to like College Station and seen it, I would have like almost 95% sure. I'm almost 95% sure I would have gone with like UT Austin.
But then you know what wouldn't have happened?
Yes, I know. I know. So I didn't say I regret it.
That wasn't the reaction I was expecting.
No, because I've heard it.
Hey, Monica, you are allowed to punch him.
I've heard it 1,000 times. That's why. No, I don't regret the decision.
Yeah.
Like, right? Like I wouldn't be where I'm at if it wasn't for the fact that I went to A&M. I'm just saying like it was a culture shock, and these are the things that I didn't really think
so
about.
dive into that a little bit more, like the actual like what you saw.
A sea of white. I just saw a sea of white, bro. No, so like I mean I moved into we had a really, really nice dorm. because of like one of the scholarships I had, like you had to stay in the specific dorm with all the other recipients of that scholarship. And so like very quickly, like, you know, there were very few people that looked like me or had Hispanic last names. Now, don't get me wrong. There's definitely minority students at A&M.
For sure.
They're just a minority, right?
Yeah.
Which was the part that was tough for me because, like you said, I was used to being in a situation where everybody was like Latino around me or,
that's what,
or African American.
And growing up, like in education, that's all I saw too. Like in elementary school, minority, like majority minority, middle school, majority minority.
Yeah, so like even if you weren't friends with everybody, you knew that you had a common ground with a lot of people, right? So you could become friends just kind of there.
Yeah.
And so being in a situation where like now I'm like, I don't relate to these people at all, right? Like they like I don't like what they like. I don't listen to what they listen to, right? Like how am I gonna make friends basically?
What
you know
was
what I mean?
the demographic? Because like the demographic. Do you know what that looks like for A&M?
I don't have the numbers. I don't remember, but it's very few. Yeah.
In your classes, using like your like just your own perspective, like what did that look like in your classes?
So the class was a little bit different as well because I'm an electrical engineering major, and it was even worse in my classes, right? Like at least in my dorm there was like African Americans and there was a couple of Latino students, and I can't remember if there was any. I don't think there was any.
Like how
Asian
big were
kids.
the classes?
Depends, right? If it was a lab
Specifically
class
when you were going
class.
into like your actual like your major classes, like the ones that related to your major.
If it was like a lecture class, it was probably like 50 people.
And then out of those 50 people, how many like Latinos would you say were in that
Fucking
class?
like 5.
5.
Maybe, I don't know. Like very, very few.
What about everybody else? Was everybody else pretty much just white?
Yeah, there was a lot of white people. There was a lot of Middle Eastern people.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That was like the second biggest demographic, I would say. It was mostly white and then a couple of like Middle Eastern kids who, I mean, I don't know what part of the Middle East they were from. So, but yeah, it was.
Yeah, looking at the demographics right now for A&M, I looked it up really quickly. 55.2% white, 22% Hispanic Latino, which is actually pretty. That's
what I'm saying. So like, well, this is what I'm saying. It's like around campus, you definitely saw them more, and then you got to like, depending on, I guess, the event, right? Like if I were to go to like the rec center and go play soccer, I found them all, right? Like they're all right there. But in my major classes, that's where it was like the most like rare, the most.
That's where you saw less of them.
Scarce.
So what do you think they were like? Because A&M is an engineering, it's a STEM school, like for the most part.
Every like 4 out of the 5 Latino students that I've met were construction science majors.
Construction
no
science.
bullshit.
Yeah.
They were all, and I'm like, bro, why? why did y'all stay with the stereotype, bro? Like,
yeah, no. Like, and you know what's funny?
How did you pick construction science?
You were born with this degree.
Yeah, you don't need to study this. You already know it, dude. Go talk to your dad, bro. He will show you how to do
that's
it.
why they did it, because they were like, hey, my dad's the boss. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got an in at the job. It's my dad. Mm-hmm. They were probably just, but you know, hey, no, but to be fair, like, I think that actually speaks to, culturally, right? Like, we know that it can be a challenge getting into spaces where you're not, like, you don't see a lot of yourself. So because we know that, like, people in construction, there's a lot of people that look like us, you're more comfortable in that space. Mm-hmm. So you're more willing to kind of like pursue a career in it, right?
Yeah. Probably. I actually never thought to like ask, like, I always thought that was kind of an offensive question too, like, why?
Why construction science?
Why? But I'd be interested to ask one of them, because I mean, just a lot of them are still my friends. They're like my close friends.
What did Ermilo?
I believe industrial engineering, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, wasn't
right. And Melanie was a biomedical. So like we had that STEM background from SEM, so we all kind of studied this, right? And
gotcha. What is a construction science degree look like?
So one of my really good friends, I believe he started off as an architecture major. What's the word?
Yeah, architecture.
All right, there we go. Tongue twisted. And then I think he transferred into construction science, if I'm not mistaken. And basically what he does, he's like a project manager for like
he's a PM
for what's it, like housing development companies. So like, you know, whenever you see like a new zone where they're like developing new houses,
got you.
He goes in there, he's like, is the lumber here? Is the paint here? Where the paint? You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's so funny, right? Because like when you like actually like working, nothing is ever as like cut and dry as like the problems that you were like looking at like a piece of paper, right? Like the complexity, like pretty much shit is just like being competent.
Oh yeah, that's a whole nother fucking thing. It's like with the shit that I do at my job now, like the stuff that I studied, I use like 2% of it.
Yeah,
like
it's a funny thing to like look at, but we'll save that for the job episode that we want to have one day. No, I think it's interesting. So like that's okay. That's a little bit of background on like you and like your experience, like this culture shock. Mostly white people, mostly.
But again, that's focused on the classes, right?
Yeah.
So we can circle back and talk about other stuff. But yeah, like specifically in the classes, I definitely was in a situation where like I felt like an outsider.
Yeah.
And I'm not the most outgoing person, so I have trouble like just putting myself out there. Like you said, it was exactly that, like to a T. I didn't see anybody that looked like me. The one person I saw that looked like me is now my girlfriend. You know what I mean? Like, you know, like I was, you know.
What a beautiful story.
It wasn't just that. It was other aspects, obviously. But yeah, no, like that's why to this day, I know 0 people that graduated from A&M from electrical engineering.
Yeah, so like that's what I was gonna ask you. So like because of this, like I don't get the sense that you have a strong like correlation with like your alma mater.
Fuck no.
Yeah.
I hate A&M.
Like you don't like care for it. Like you wouldn't like.
At all,
did
bro.
you do like so like? Tell me a little bit more about like the culture itself. So like I understand your relationship with the culture a little bit better now, but talk about like the culture at A&M itself a little bit.
Sure. So I mean that's a whole nother concept, right? I definitely don't fuck with A&M at all.
Did you do a ring dunk? Did you do all that jazz?
No.
Damn, fucking
A&M is definitely
loser.
like I'm sure a lot of people have probably heard it, but like A&M is a cult, and it absolutely 100% is a cult.
Is.
They're so weird.
Yeah.
People take the traditions very, very seriously. I'm sure a lot of schools have traditions.
Yeah.
I can't speak to them. Maybe you can tell me a little bit about the traditions.
Did y'all have a white squirrel?
No.
Was a white squirrel? I feel like a white squirrel is a story at every university. Did y'all have a white squirrel at UTD? You didn't go there. Chris, did y'all have a...
Fuck you, Johnny, you piece of
My
shit.
bad, Johnny. I was thinking out loud. Chris, did y'all have a white squirrel? At UNT, there was like this story about like the white squirrel. Like if you saw like the white squirrel, you would like right, you passed like your exam.
You know what? That actually, I don't think so, but that sounds so vaguely familiar.
I thought at every university, because I thought I heard the same thing.
Their soldiers are like, their general is that dog or whatever.
Yeah, Reveille. Yeah, that's our like
Oh, you have a
mascot,
dog
not
general?
mascot thing. Yeah, it's like she's freaking god. If you see them, like, if you see her like on camp, everybody stops to take pictures with this dog.
Oh, really?
So okay, let me break it down. Right, like there's a lot of weird traditions. The first one that smacks you right in the face when you show up there is howdy. Everybody says howdy. It's not a joke. Everybody literally says howdy. That's giggle.
Oh, okay.
That's different.
Sorry. Didn't mean to offend you. I'm sorry, sir.
No, that's different. So yeah, everybody greets you with howdy.
So like, what's the how? Oh, that's just like how everyone says hello to everybody.
Yeah, literally. Just like you walk into your dorm, howdy, and it feels so weird because like, especially like your first year,
How
like
Texan.
you don't really like me, right? They would say howdy, and I'd be like, "What's up?" And it feels like, am
Do
I
they get
supposed to
offended?
say-
They
yeah,
get
it's kind of
offended?
that, right? I'm like, will I offend you? If I, so like there was definitely times where I'd
really
be like,
pissed them off. They're gonna call ice on your ass. Hey, ¿qué pasó?
there was definitely times where I'd be like, howdy, like it hurt internally.
You almost moaned that. Wait, do that again.
Shut up. No, it was like painful to say. I'm like,
Did you
howdy?
start saying it after a while?
No.
No, you didn't catch
It
on?
was it never caught on for me. But
Reply, hola.
That's what I'm saying. Like you should go the opposite way. Hola.
like you were like, ¿cómo está?
What's the howdy equivalent in Spanish?
¿Qué onda? No, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
That's more like barrio. Howdy's like country.
Yeah.
So I don't know what your parents are from the country.
I
Why don't you
don't,
tell
I don't
me?
know what they say.
I don't know. Okay. So yeah, that's like the first one that slaps you in the face, and they use that for every like that's like the instead of teachers telling y'all to be quiet, howdy, and everybody immediately howdy. It's like they like
Oh, it's like standing at attention.
yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
How interesting.
When a professor walks in, it's like howdy, and everybody, howdy, and they like immediately like turn around and like
And so you didn't buy into it. You didn't.
no. And there's so many more, right?
Did you try, or were you just off the bat just like nah,
Nah. Again, my personality is not one to like
embrace things?
like yes,
Yeah.
like group think. Like when it's like in a
Being
crowd,
Kevin's friend is hard sometimes.
when it's like excessively like everybody like let's all group think this and like become a blob of fans or whatever. I'm
you mean
like
collaborate?
no, this is excessive. There's a certain level of like
I hate working with people.
No, I love working with people. There's a certain level of just craze like fandom that I can't fuck with.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, for
That's why I
sure.
have a problem
Because
with
it's
like
weird.
BTS fans.
It's weird. Yeah, BTS. Hey, Let me leave it alone. Monica, enjoy your time at the concert.
It's just the crazy, and that's my problem with Kanye fans. My problem with Drake fans. That's my problem with like the crazy ones.
Okay,
right? I don't
fair.
understand this like, and that's what all of A&M is like that. That's what I'm trying to stress.
Got you.
Like they're all just no reasoning. With
So what
them.
did that mean for you though? Like when like
I was kind of alone. So at A&M they call them, you're either a red ass, which is like 98% of the population. I forget where that comes from. I think it's because they wear overalls. Like for one of the games, they wear overalls and like they paint them with like
it's not because your ass turns red from getting spanked.
No, maybe no.
And their team gets spanked.
I did.
No, they paint them with like all A&M stuff, and they paint the back pockets red, and that's supposed to be like school spirit. So that's where the red ass comes from. And then they call them 2%ers because they only make up 2% of the population, and the 2%ers are everybody that doesn't fuck with A&M heavy, that doesn't do that.
So you were a 2%er.
I was always called a 2%er from the jump.
Did people like know that you were a 2%er?
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah. I mean, after they meet you and like interact with you a little bit, like immediately, oh, you're a 2%. Yep. Like I don't.
You wore that badge with honor.
They say it like in a like it's a derogatory slur, damn near.
And did you wear it with honor?
Absolutely.
You're like,
fuck
I
yeah,
love being a hater, bro. That's literally if Kevin personified. He's like he loves being a fucking hater. Like if Joy, like I'm gonna leave it alone.
no.
Kevin hates seeing people not enjoy things.
They're just weird. There's just so many weird things. I could go on for days, right? There's the Reveille dog. You see it. So the Reveille dog, it's always handled by somebody that's in the Corps. There's like a special group in the Corps that are in charge of like, and she sleeps with them in their barracks, whatever they're called, in their dorms.
Oh,
and
the dog
yeah.
sleeps with them. Oh,
like it's like a specific unit, right? Of the
what
Corps.
a weird thing.
And so like the dog goes to class with them, right?
How do these things even come about?
I don't know. Oh, I mean, there's a story for everything. A long time ago.
What's funny is that you know it.
A long time ago, there was like a group of like 5 Corps students. They were driving down the road and they saw like a dog on the side of the street. I can't remember if it was like half dead or some. I don't know. But long story short, they picked up the dog, they rescued it, and the dog then became a symbol for the school. So like that's why there's like a dog that's our kind of mascot or whatever. So yeah, the dog goes to class with them. If you see the dog out, like.
Do you think like so? Is like a student in charge of like the dog?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's like 4 or 5 students.
Do you think that student automatically gets granted like A act? Like, can you imagine being like a C student and like you're in charge of the dog?
Oh,
like,
I don't know.
You probably have to be like a.
He definitely gets privileges.
Yeah,
but I don't know. The one like thing that I remember about the dog specifically is that like, so if you're in class with the dog, and the dog barks, the professor's supposed to like stop the class. Like that's it. End of the class. The dog's done. So we're done.
Hey, they knew not to give me that dog because I'm gonna train the fuck out that motherfucker to bark.
So when people were in class with the dog,
hey, when I tap my shoe twice, bark. It's been 5 minutes in class. Wolf. Hey, let's go.
Yep.
Time to go.
Yep. So that was the weird thing with the dog. I mean, the whole core aspect is mad weird to me.
Yeah, you have a lot of y'all. And these are actually traditions I did not know about. Like I know about like the 12th man, and I know about like the stupid penny on the statue.
Oh yeah,
I know that y'all love like
racist statue that they wouldn't take down.
I know that y'all love racist people. I know
do love
that,
racist people. Yep.
I know that y'all hate minorities.
Yep. A lot of that too. Yep. Hate minorities, all of them.
Yeah,
these are things that are true, bro. That's why I don't fuck with the school, bro.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. No,
Richard Spencer spoke at this fucking school, dog.
Like he was a paid like.
He went on a public forum.
Tell people
who
Richard Spencer is, by the way.
He's a alt-right person. I don't know beyond that. He's just an idiot that spouts alt-right bullshit. Like I don't know. He's the guy that if y'all saw that viral video a couple years ago of like this dude getting punched in the face as he was saying racist shit, the Nazi, that's him. Yep. He's the Nazi that got punched in the face in 4K.
Yeah, he's like a neo-Nazi pretty much.
Well, shit. But yeah, where was I? Yeah, that's why I don't. All these weird things are why I don't really fuck with A&M. Like it's got a reputation for a reason. But yeah, there's so many weird traditions. The cult, and like you mentioned it earlier. I don't know if you want, for those of you that don't know what a rink dunk is. One of the really big things at A&M is our ring, like our Aggie ring, which I don't wear.
One?
Yeah, I do.
You have one? Okay.
But guess what? Don't wear it because fuck them. So like, yeah, the ring is just supposed to signify that you went to A&M, right? It's like your class ring or whatever. And for A&M specifically, it's supposed to be a really big like network thing. Like it's a big deal. Supposedly, like like if you go to a job interview and your interviewer is like got a ring on, like da da da. I don't know. They've gassed it up like it's like this like cheat code to life when you meet another person with the ring.
Yeah. But I mean that's like the what they say about like any
is it
job, right? Like if same stuff for like a Greek organization,
yeah,
right? Like,
exactly. Exactly.
It's leverage the network that like, and I'll say that like, and maybe that's probably a positive because there's so much this like crazy cult type of like culture around A&M.
I mean, that's the reason why like I got the ring.
Yeah.
Like I definitely thought like, oh, cool. I mean, I want a job.
Yeah, exactly. Like it helps with like the network.
So, anyways, when we get the ring, it's a really big deal. There's a whole thing, ring day. Everybody gets it like on the same weekend. Parents come down. There's crying. There's a whole bunch of hoopla that goes on.
Did your parents come down? Oh, because you didn't do the ring
Yes,
dunk.
they did. They did go down.
Oh.
Yeah, but I didn't do the ring dunk.
What was their perspective on like you being at A&M? Like,
Oh, I mean, it was just, my kids in college. Like, it was like everything to them or whatever. Like, that was literally all their life mission, essentially. Like, that's what they made it seem like. But, no, so like real quick, just to cap off the ring dunk, it's just so when you get your ring, what you're supposed to do is throw a party called a ring dunk party, and you're supposed to find a picture, decorate it or whatever if you want. If not, you just fill it with your beer of choice. You fill that thing up
this was never gonna happen in Kevin's life.
to the brim with beer. Some idiots tried putting like tequila or alcohol, like hard liquors in,
no
and
way.
they turned out terrible. But anyways, most people just put beer, and you throw your ring in to the bottom, and you chug the pitcher of beer, and you try to do it the fastest, like that. That's the whole thing. That's the tradition.
Yeah, right. Like you're supposed to just chug it and then like get to your ring.
And then that person is wasted, and you enjoy the rest of the party. Like that's it.
and that's a cool tradition. Like, and that's what I'll say. Like, I appreciate it because like we've been talking. This is not the A&M podcast. Sorry if we've been talking about A&M.
We'll get on using UNT in a sec.
Let's talk about like my experience was very different. Like there's
green, baby. Let's go.
So, but here's what's interesting. You, woo, I don't have school spirit, but I actually really like what because I guess let me ask you that before we move on to me. Overall, how would you describe your experience? Like as a positive one, a negative one, or like a wash?
No, so like taking just my school out of it is positive, right? I mean, obviously I met my girlfriend there. I met a lot of my really, really close friends. I made a ton of close friends. Like, my career is thanks to like my education. So
For sure.
It was a positive one all in all. Part of me would have liked to have gone to school like in a city environment with a little bit more diversity. And
Yeah, because y'all are in the boonies. Like, yeah, like the only thing to do at A&M is be at A&M.
Yeah, like, I mean, all I did in school was like play soccer with my friends, and like I love playing soccer, so it was a good experience.
That was cool. Yeah,
like that's my favorite memories of school are probably on a soccer field. You know what I mean? Like playing tournaments with
What
my
a
friends.
Mexican.
Or intramurals. No, yeah, they are. Like that's where all my homies are.
Yeah.
We bonded playing soccer. Like,
Yeah, what's your network like outside of like post college, with like people you met at A&M? Like, did you establish some really good like relationships and friendships with like people besides Monica?
Yeah, I mean, no, for sure. I have a lot of friends. I'm a type of person who I'm like the, what do they call, those tweets with like the background friend or whatever?
Oh.
That's my problem, is that I don't keep up with people that well, and I don't text people that well.
Yeah.
So like my friends, I have friends who I think like, who I know that like if I hit them up, they're like, oh, what's up? What's good? Da, 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 da. Let's chop it up. But we never do, right? Like I never actually go like text them. Like that's just my bad habit. But,
Gotcha.
But no, there was a positive experience, and I met a lot of really dope people. So
Okay.
it was hard to find them, when I did.
For
my
sure.
freshman year, I met nobody.
Yeah.
My freshman year, outside of Monica, and even that, me and Monica like weren't really until like later on.
Mm.
So
Yeah, I remember meeting Monica for the first time.
that was my sophomore year,
So that was sophomore year because Armilo was there at that point.
because y'all came down for his birthday.
We came for his birthday. His motherfucker got so drunk, and we had
He
to.
did.
Yeah, you remember? I got a ticket out of
You did.
I got a
You
ticket.
did.
Yeah, because they were trying to ticket his roommate for providing alcohol to mine. Which fuck the police, bro. Like, what a bullshit. His roommate
Who
came
opened
back.
the door?
I don't know. I don't know,
But-
but remember we told Hermila, we were like, Hermila, get your drunk ass in the room.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Woo." And then his roommate came out, and then they were gonna give him a ticket. And then I was like, officer, like this dude has literally done nothing but been in his room. Like, he was like, someone's got to get a ticket.
on here again a ticket,
Someone's gotta
goddamn
get a
it.
ticket.
One of these brown folks.
Yeah, exactly. And I was like, fuck, fine, give it to me. And then I had to kick everyone out of Hermila's apartment. And then I had to go back to A&M to like handle the ticket. Like,
What a
months
time to
later.
be alive. Yeah.
What a time. But no, like let me talk about my experience. So A&M is obviously a PWI, right? Predominantly white institution. UNT started off when I went there as a PWI, but I think now is an MIS, a minority MSI.
I don't know what these acronyms mean.
Minority Serving Institution.
Okay.
That's when, like, I guess, not that minorities, not one specific minority is the majority, but the minority category itself is bigger than like the majority category, right? So like more than white people. But yeah, like there's not like this like crazy culture around it. Like it wasn't. I actually didn't know anybody when I went to UNT. This is one of the reasons that I decided to like go there because it was either UTD, UTA, kind of
lone wolf.
I didn't want to.
Rudy was too cool for everybody in high school. That's why he doesn't want to go to the reunion. By the way, Ian, like you forced it out of him.
For Ian, I definitely want to go, and I know exactly why. I want to run into somebody.
Oh no!
But with that being said, yeah, like I went because yeah, like it felt like there was an opportunity to kind of like have like a fresh start in a way. But I will say this: my intention at some point was definitely to like transfer.
Oh, interesting.
Like I was like, hey, I'm gonna go here for like maybe a year or two and then transfer. And the A&M was actually like one of like the places that I really wanted.
I mean,
to go.
there was a pretty big contingency at SEN that was talking about going to A&M because there was like a little outreach program or something where like a lot of the kids went to do like a summer camp for 3 weeks or something at A&M. So a lot of people wanted, and that again, that was one of the very big factors in my decision too.
Because you knew people going there. That's actually another. It's funny because that was the reason for you wanting to go there. The reason for me not me wanting to go to like UNT was because I knew nobody. I knew other people from town we were going, but no one in SEM. And I was like, I just want to kind of like a fresh start, kind of like start something like different and new, and then go somewhere else, right? I kind of wanted to break, but the culture at UNT was cool. Like Latinos and like and like other minorities, I found very quickly. Like I found a group of people that like I was very cool with. Like I found friends. Like that wasn't an issue. But like I guess I'll be an advocate. Like you have to get more involved than just like finding friends and like, you know, like organizations matter. Like getting like, were you a part of any orgs?
No, you're absolutely right. Like that's what I'm saying. Like there was a lot of things that I could have done as well. Again, I'm not very outgoing.
And the thing is, I knew it. And that's what I really hate myself for not doing more. Cause I was like my sister, like my sister.
To be fair, I didn't know.
Oh, okay. Well,
like
shit.
I didn't know.
My bad.
I was thrown into a situation where like, here, figure it out.
Yeah. So it's like for me, like my sister, she graduated from UTA.
I told that motherfucker to get an organization, so
yeah,
I was the guinea pig.
Did you, Chris?
No, I mean I've only been there for like 1 year because then COVID shut down everything for like 2 of the years.
So the answer is no.
Yeah.
It's a good way to answer the question, but the answer was no. Okay. Yeah, like it's super important because like at least at UNT, like for sure, like there was a lot more opportunity. I don't know. And I was also in a weird place with myself and like my own culture. Like I was kind of like in the phase, but like I was like, I didn't really want to see myself as like just being Mexican, right? Like I just thought I was who I was. I was kind of like in an identity crisis. I would almost say at that point.
See, that's almost like my defense mechanism. Is
What?
to go back into my shell and be like, no, I'm Mexican. I want to be friends with you.
Yeah, but you can do that at A&M. At UNT, like because there was actually like other like, it was easy to find them. You know, like it was. I should have taken more initiative in that space, and I'll encourage anybody like to do that. Like there's a lot of really good organizations and shit. You can create your own organization. It's not that hard.
Oh yeah, you can.
Yeah, it's so easy to create your own. And it's important because we have to leverage these relationships, and networking is, bro, like literally like when we talk about like jobs and like stuff at one point, like literally like fuck what degree you have, like you end up doing shit most of the time that doesn't even really matter. Like at some level, like it's mostly about like being able to like, be competent and show that you were able to accomplish something. But really people say 1,000 times, right? It's not what you know, it's who you know. That shit is very true.
Not true.
And so like now
I wish I would have stayed around those organization meetings past the free food. That's the only reason I went.
the pizza, bro, I hated pizza in college.
I don't get it.
Fucking
you know what it was at my school?
Pizza.
Every meeting had canes, or our version of canes, which is called lanes. Lanes.
Yeah. But that was like a big thing, right? I remember when I went there was like a Lanes, and then right next door there was a Canes, and everyone was like, Lanes is so much better, blah, blah, blah. And I literally like went inside of Lanes. I was like,
it's one of those A&M things where like, you know how Texans talk about Whataburger, A&M people talk about Lanes. Like,
I walked out of Lanes and I literally walked to Cane's and I ordered a box combo. I was like, I refuse to like give them the satisfaction of like
real quick, I don't mean there's like a whole like event, like a Lanes 4K or some shit.
No way.
Where like, yeah, like you sign up and you run, I don't know the exact, like if it's like 1 mile, you run to a checkpoint, you eat like a box of Lanes, you run like another bit to the next checkpoint, you eat another box of Lanes. In total, you end up eating like 4 boxes of Lanes while you run like a fucking 4K.
That sounds terrible.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy.
Yeah, but who organizes this? This makes no sense.
This is the type of school that I like. That's what I'm saying.
No, that makes sense. No, yeah, but I mean, at UNT, there was definitely a lot of minorities, like I said, and the possibility to like. Friends wasn't the issue, but I think you have to be intentional sometimes in like in relationships that you establish. And so like I was a part of SHIP. Were you a part of SHIP at A&M?
I think I might have gone to like a couple meetings and signed up, but I never actively participated.
Yeah.
So I accept responsibility in a lot of the shit
The way you describe like being a background friend, I was like a background member in some of these organizations. Like my background's in material science, and so like there was this organization called Materials Advantage. So like I was going to these things, but I wasn't actively participating. And I think that's kind of like the two ways to look at it. One, you have to be in the room. And then number two, you have to actively engage the room, right? You have to
calm down, Jay-Z with the NFL.
you have to like put yourself in a position, right? Because especially because that drives more engagement from others, right? So like if you see like that the president of this organization is a Latino or a Latina, then you're like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Like, I fit here, right? Like, if your student body president is a Latina, like, it feels good. And I remember I got that sense because actually my freshman year, the student body president, or I guess the person that was student body president the year prior, his name was Rudy. And he was like, and I thought that was so cool. You know what I'm saying? And
I'm next.
And it made me actually want to, like, engage with, like, you know, like, organizations. So it works and it matters. And so if you're ever uncomfortable, that's totally okay, especially in the circumstance where you're at A&M when you are like the super minority. In my circumstance, it was kind of like I was comfortable just being in the crowd, right, of people. But it's important to put yourself in positions where you can be seen so that other people see you and are inspired by you. Even if it's just important. Like I think is my ultimate takeaway.
And our biggest fear is not that we are inadequate, is that we are powerful beyond measure.
Is that one of my? There's this.
I don't know the rest. It is our.
When's the first time you heard
brightness,
that quote?
not our darkness. That most. Huh?
When's the first time you heard
Coach
that
Carter?
Quote?
Duh.
Coach Carter. There was this dude that I was cool with. His name was Roque, and like he lived to die by that quote. He was like he could like probably write it down like word for word. Yeah, but like he loved it. He actually went to UT. Dang, hey, oh, what the fuck just happened? Oh, you just caught back up. My bad. We're watching the game in the background, guys.
We.
I am.
Focus, Rudy.
Sorry.
No, that was a crazy catch.
But yeah, no, and I'll talk about like, so UNT, that was the circumstance.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of Latinos, a lot of minorities, very easy to like connect and like meet people. I wish I would have leveraged that a little bit more, especially when it came down to organizations. That's my takeaway just in general for anyone that's going through university. But now let me talk about like what it looked like specifically in the classroom, the way I asked you, because that's what I was thinking about whenever you were describing it. In the classroom, I was a material science engineering major. And
what the hell is that? I mean, you don't have to describe it, but what?
I don't even know.
I only say it because it sounds mad complicated.
That's like my favorite joke to say. Like whenever people ask me like, oh, like what's your degree? And I'd be like, oh, material science engineering. And they'd be like, what is that? And I'd be like, I don't know, honestly. Like it usually gets a laugh half the time. But in my class, it was a smaller class. There was maybe like about 25 people starting, and I think maybe about 20 of us graduated.
You mean like people that were in that major, or like your individual classes?
Like it was the same for us because like there like
literally there's only 25 majors.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I was asking. Like shit.
Yeah,
when you were asking me, you were asking me like how many people were physically in the room,
like,
right?
We talked about like you had like your classes like where everyone was participating, right? Like your general like chemistry, like physics classes. So, like you could never really tell who was like the mechanical engineering major here. You couldn't tell who was the.
I mean, in your lower level engineering classes, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like in your lower level, but like once you got into like your specific, like your major class, or your core classes for your major, there was about 25 of us only that were like.
But this is what I'm saying. Like, so this is what I'm trying to understand, because not to talk about A&M again, but in A&M, right? Yeah, when we got to our actual like specific electrical engineering class, a class might only have like 30, 35 people, but there was like 10 sections of that class because there was a ton of us in that major.
No, there was.
You're saying there's literally only 25 people in that major.
So there was only one class.
So there's only one. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it was small, and we knew that was the case, and that's the case for material science engineering.
Squad
just in general. Yeah, bro. So like everyone was like,
gang,
ganged up, bro, and I literally hated it because of what happened where I said I took the wrong class that didn't let me like start like that.
Did nobody tell you? Not one of the other 24 people did.
Well, I didn't know.
Where were you? We had class last week.
I wasn't in that class because of the first class that I fucked up, but I didn't know these people yet. Don't worry about it. But basically what happened when I figured out, hey, these are the people that I'm going to be taking like over the next 2 years, like my junior and senior year, I'm going to be in my major classes with them pretty much from here on out. And I was there was me and one other Latina. That was it. There was about 25 of us. About half of them were white. More than a quarter of them were like Middle Eastern or foreign born. And then a couple of Asian. Hey, actually there's 2 Chinese dudes that like I met. And me and them got super cool, bro. They like we used to invite me over to their apartment and they were like showing me like traditional like Asian style cuisine, and like they could barely speak like that much English. So, like even like us communicating, like that's basically the way I would organize our class. It was like all like the white people. Oh, actually there was another Latina, but she was like very like
whitewashed.
Yeah, kind of like that was kind of what she
fake
she
Latina, fake. No, I'm just kidding.
They were just very like
superiority,
mean girl-ish type, right? Like they just like thought they were like
Aryan race.
Yeah, it was just fucking annoying. Oh, calm down. Hold on.
No, just playing. I'm kidding.
But I wasn't like in the class. I was a little uncomfortable. It wasn't until like I ended up having like my group of friends in that class. Like 2 of them were white dudes. One of them was that Latino that I told you about, and then the two Chinese students. It was basically us. Like we were like the misfit group of our class. And so it's just I understand like how that can be challenging too. Like not feeling comfortable because people definitely like I felt it. I felt perceived differently by everybody else sometimes. Like not taking seriously sometimes.
Did you ever get so I mean, well maybe I don't want to say too much, but did you have any sort of financial aid in school at all?
Oh yeah, so that's super important. Yeah, I did.
How many times? I heard it so many times that I only had financial aid because I was a minority.
Oh, I don't know.
I heard that so many times, bro.
Like from like other people telling you that?
From white people at A&M, yeah.
Oh, they told you that?
Yeah.
That you only had financial aid because you were a minority?
Yeah.
No way.
I swear to you.
What the fuck?
Yeah. A lot of us, or just like the most of us, like little
they feel comfortable
students.
telling you this?
Yeah, like most of those little Latino students that we only had financial aid because we were Latino.
What the fuck? Fuck them.
I was like, yo, suck my dick.
But you weren't on financial aid, right? You you had scholarships. I guess like that's distinguished.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't distinguished like that. That's the point.
Got you.
They weren't like distinguished.
Like you did, even a scholarship that you earned, they said that they wrapped that up to you being a minority.
What was that debate? Or what's that like little law or not law?
Action.
Yeah, is affirmative action or some shit like that?
Affirmative action is kind of a part of it, but it's Fuck, we probably should have done our research. I used to know this actually like the back of my hand because I used to like engage in a lot of these conversations.
Because that was kind of like a big deal for a while. I remember there was like a lot of shit going on at like UT or something that happened. I think my sophomore year.
Some of it has to do with sports too, right? Equal opportunity. Basically, it's like equal opportunity action.
But yeah, I've heard that I was only there to like satisfy a quota, basically like a minority quotient or whatever. Which I'm like, bro, what? Like, and so that was another thing is like I always had this feeling like I had a chip on my shoulder, right? Like I always had this feeling of like, bro, none of y'all know me. None of y'all like, I'm smarter than 80%. See, like that's where I would like talk my shit, right? Like I'm not usually cocky like that, but whenever someone like attacks you like that and questions you like that, it would come out of me. I'm like, bro, bitch, like you only here because your fucking daddy paid for this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like you dumb as hell. There's so many dumb motherfuckers in college. I think you find that out real quick too.
Absolutely.
There's so many idiots in college.
And literally, like sometimes, like I would meet people because I my network of friends, like I think expanded a lot of universities, and sometimes like you have this perception, like when you're applying for colleges, right, that that like, oh, everyone at UT is like, oh, so smart. Everyone at like A&M is so smart. People that go, even I'm sure at an Ivy League university, right? Like it starts to like become more true. But in general, I was
most
like,
of these public schools are filled with idiots.
They're
just rich like legacy kids who like their dad went to UT.
Legacies or like their school, because you know there's the top 10 or top 5 rule or whatever. Like you can pretty much get into like any like public university at that point. And they just went to like fucking a high school that had 5 people in it, and everyone else was just a bigger idiot than they were. They're just the smartest of the idiots. Yeah. They were the what's the saying? The tallest short person or whatever. Oh, the tallest midget. Like that's probably offensive. Sorry,
can't say that. Bleep that out, Johnny. Hey, you don't say that.
Yeah, like you're the tallest. What's the appropriate word for it? It's small people, right?
I truly don't know, so I will not say nothing.
Okay.
I don't know what the appropriate term is.
Well, I like how we're trying to find a way to not be offensive, but we're calling people idiots.
Well, they are idiots, and they were offending me.
Yeah, and no, absolutely. So, like for me,
not all of them, by the way.
I'm actually just like flabbergasted by the fact that they felt that they could even just tell you this.
No, they would say that shit with their whole ass chest, bro. Like, yeah. I mean, it's not like people were like continuously coming to my face and like, hey, you specifically. I might have had like maybe one experience where like it came up like in a group conversation, but it was definitely said of us, of all the Latino students that did have like some sort of financial aid or whatever. Because it was like, I think there was a little group, I think Regents or something was the name of it, that was specific, like Latinos. And so we were all Latino financial aid recipients. So yeah, that was kind of like something that we bonded over, was like that common like perception of us, that we were only there because we were solely...
That you were there to meet the quota.
Yeah,
is kind of
that
like
if we were not
narrative.
Latino, they would have also gotten like financial... Like, you know what I'm saying? Like if we were equal... like
yeah. Oh, you know what? I did have one person. I remember at one time, because I was on scholarship. It was called Emerald Eagle. And that basically just paid for the... I found out it only paid for tuition-based expenses that I had. It didn't pay for like room and board and stuff. But it paid anything tuition related. I never had to worry about because I was on that scholarship, as long as I maintained like a
GPA,
a 2.5, which is like yeah. Please maintain a 2.5, bro. Like it's not that hard. Like it's not hard. I promise.
C's get degrees, baby.
Yeah, no, like literally, like when people told me that, and when I heard people losing scholarships because they couldn't keep a 2.5, I definitely was like judgmental. I was like, "You're a fucking idiot." Like it's not that hard. But hey, you know, everyone has their own struggles. So, you know, things can be challenging. I understand. But there's one dude. He was like, "Yeah, man. Like I would have got that scholarship if I just needed to be. I just needed to be Mexican."
Yeah.
Which, like, I guess there's a little grain of truth in there. Like,
I guess, man.
But but I think it misses the point. It misses the point completely.
Because my problem with it was that, like, maybe, but it disqualifies everything I've done throughout my fucking life.
Absolutely.
Like, I know all the studying I've done.
Yeah.
You just said I took 19 AP exam. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I went to this what did you do?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's what
Absolutely.
I would say. That's like, what did you do?
And I think that's something that they can't understand.
Right.
Right. Like, why people can't understand that, like, even if we...
And I did it on less resources than you did.
That's the exact point I was about to make. Like, if we come to the table with the same amount, like, if you looked at our resumes side by side and they ended up being the exact same, like, I can almost guarantee you that the work that I had to do to put this resume together was significantly more challenging for me as a minority than it was for you. And there is fucking value in that, right? Like, there's beauty in the struggle. But the struggle is nonetheless still the struggle, right? And so, like, for you to sit here and say that, like, oh, like, you're only doing this because you're a minority, fuck you,
yep.
Right? Like, that's just bullshit. Like, and that's, to be fair, like, they just aren't aware of it sometimes. So that's where I think we have to have these conversations. And I think we're having more of them now. Do you think that, like, I'm gonna jump into the job thing a little bit. Does your job do an effort of, like, kind of like identifying, like, diversity and, like, kind of like highlighting people's stories and their struggles and flights to, like, highlight where they got?
I mean, they definitely have diversity groups. I don't know. I think it's one of those things where kind of like similar to the organization thing where you get what you put into it. I don't think there is a lot of, like, push on it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they just kind of have, like, these, like, side groups that might have a meeting in some conference room that you don't know about unless you, like, subscribe to some email group that's in some internal website. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of buried and it's hard to find. but it's there.
But
so
it's
like
there.
kinda, you know what I mean?
I think, and maybe this is just because I work for Apple, that they're making the push. I do think there's more of an effort now to understand how like it is harder for people coming from like these like backgrounds and demographics to like get to the table, right? That's like and that's what all these like affirmative actions, all these like diversity programs are basically there for, right? To kind of help get us to the table, because that's often, once we're there, we've shown to be able to like do the work, actually excel in these spaces, but we often don't get that opportunity. Which is bringing back to my original point. That's why I'm an advocate for like higher education. I think it allows you to be able to leverage this degree, which I get it. Like sometimes it's a pain in the ass, but at least it allows you the opportunity to showcase that you are capable, competent, and able to excel.
Yeah,
and that's important.
Yeah, that was a big detour. I think you got that from you saying you felt like you were perceived a different type of way from that clique. Or did you maintain your friendships with your little bit, or like what was that?
I maintain friends, not within like my major.
Okay.
There's maybe,
that's what I was asking specifically.
There's like a couple of kids there that like I'm cool with. I think it's just like one of them like moved to like he got a job like in New Mexico or whatever. And then my Chinese friends went back to China, so that was kind of hard.
I have plans to go see them in Beijing.
No, actually, that was a beautiful friendship that we developed with them. He went to like China at one time, and then came back, and he like actually gave me a lot of gifts. He was like, "Hey, like this is like I forgot what New Year's it was, but he gave me like the banners for like that for like their year, like the year of I forgot what it was. But I have the banners. Like he was like, you put these in front of your door for good luck this year. It's like the year of the dragon or whatever it was.
Remember how to say Happy Chinese New Year.
He got me like this box of like, it was like a pen, a mirror, like a wallet, all this like cool stuff.
Wait, no, that's Vietnamese.
Sorry. Dang. Way to put them all in one box.
No, my friend that taught me was Vietnamese. I know the Chinese one.
What I was saying is, yeah, it was a good friendship. Like me and him, like me and him, we like exchanged messages on Facebook, and it actually was really really heartwarming. He was like, "Hey Rudy, I want to say like thank you so much for like showing me like what you showed me," because I took him to like their first bar. I like took them to like a bunch of like restaurants. Like they didn't have like American friends.
Oh, I love that.
It was such like a cool experience.
I
love
like Asian culture.
So there was beauty in that.
Just a quick sidebar. Did you see when we were in Austin, the little group of like, there was like a group of like 4 or 5 Asian kids that looked like they were like foreign exchange, because like the way they were like interacting is like they had never seen it before.
Nah.
You didn't see that?
Wait, which Austin trip?
I
was probably mad faded.
Fuck Friends, that one. Oh, but the day after.
Fuck Friends. Yeah, I was probably way too faded to remember anything.
It was so cool, bro. Like I think it was like the end of the night, so like they played some like the cha-cha slide or something, and they were like,
oh, they were,
yeah, they like,
did they get excited to do it?
They were getting taught.
Oh, they were getting taught how to do it. That's so cool.
Yeah, no, but anyways,
and you know what, we haven't spent a lot of time talking about this. The experience of being in college is super, like, I think important. Like, put the opportunity aside, put like the getting an education aside, like just like the experience of like having like the friendships and like meeting people and like all that. Like, I think it's like super valuable. My little sister goes to OU right now, and like she's like in school. And Chris, I'm sure you can relate to this, right? Like being in like college and like during COVID time sucks because you don't get to experience like college culture. But I pushed her to like experience it. I'm just like, hey, like, I'm glad that you're spending time in the library. I'm glad that you're, you know, focused on like your studies, but like, please go fucking have fun. Like, go, like, I think it's as important almost sometimes. I don't know, maybe that's my perspective because
you're a wild boy.
I like to enjoy myself as well. But,
follow Rudy's advice very carefully. Like,
balance. You need balance in everything that you do. No, I just think it's important, right? Like to have fun, like and enjoy. Cause
be cautious.
For sure. Like you always want to be responsible, but you don't want to do anything that gets you in trouble. You don't get arrested, kids. Like be careful, but like enjoy yourself because it's important. Like it's actually a super important part. And I got that from like me sharing you with like my Chinese friends. He was like I need, like he was like, I needed this, right? Like I didn't want like this experience that I came to the United States to have to just be like, oh, I'm just sitting here reading books and like doing school all the time. Like you need to enjoy and like learn and like experience different things. So I'm an advocate for it. But in general, I haven't given us any numbers yet. I want to put it in perspective of why I think these kind of conversations are important, and hopefully people think after hearing this that there's a lot of value in higher education. The percentage of Latinos that are from between the ages of 25 to 29 from the year 2000 to 2019, what do you think those numbers are, if you had to take a guess?
Say that one more time.
The number of Latinos that have at least an associate's degree between the ages of 25 and 29. So that's usually the age where you've completed it.
Right.
You've completed it. I have the number for the 2000 and 2019. What do you think those numbers are, percentage-wise?
Oh, percentage-wise. I was about to say that. What? Out of like, never mind. I don't know.
This is Latinos too, not just Mexican, like Latinos.
Let's say
Latinas?
15.
Bro, Kevin's a fucking genius. Wait, 15 for who? For which year?
Hey, fuck you.
I have the number for 2000 and 2019. I wanted to show the increase and decrease.
19.
Or the gap, not decrease.
19.
2019?
Yeah.
Nah.
So close.
In the year 2000, 15% of Latinos between the age of 25 to 29 had at least an associate's degree. And then in 2019, that's 31%.
Let's go.
That's great. That's actually awesome, right? That we see like it being doubled. But when you really think about it, 31% is not a lot.
No, it's not.
There's a huge. That means 69. Well, so that's 69.
So that's 69. Hey, full circle.
Hey, there we
Episode's
go.
over. We can wrap it up, right?
69% of Latinos don't have at least an associate's degree. Which, by the way, I posed this question to Johnny. I never really understood what the fucking associate's degree is. Do you know?
No.
I know what a bachelor's is.
Does
A
associates
4-year degree.
get you anything? No, like truly. I truly don't know.
I don't know. Chris, do you know?
Are there jobs that only require associate's degrees, maybe?
Johnny said there is.
Is there?
Yeah.
Oh,
Say
okay.
there is. There's a combination between associates and experience. Then yeah, like my kid's mom, she worked in a law office for a while, and then she got her associate's degree, and they gave her a raise. And everything.
Just because of the associate's degree?
Yeah. This is similar to bachelor's.
Yeah, I was about to say, it's kind of the same thing with what the fuck is a bachelor's?
They kind of just do it, just saying that you're not dumb.
Yeah.
I
Did
get
you graduate from community college?
Yeah, I mean, I just thought like it was a community college thing, right? Like that you got. I don't really know much about associate's degrees. Bachelor's to me, I guess because I have one. Like, I mean, it makes sense to me. It's
No, I think it is just a community college thing, and I also think it ends up being the same thing as a bachelor's degree. It's just like, here's a piece of paper that says you can kind of do some work.
Yeah, you're
same
just
thing with
like
like a master's. Here's a piece of paper that
competent.
shows you can do more.
That you're
More work.
Yeah, they can do more work. Yeah, oh look, you got a master's.
bro.
Ooh.
People
Doctor, you say a lot of work.
like it's frustrating. Maybe it's the case because of the program that I was in, but like like I was in material science in my material science graduate program. It's all research based, and it's all just people like chasing like publications. Like, you're not even like, it's the exact same like coursework. You're just doing more like work towards like getting published, if that makes sense, right? Like the projects that you're working on, like you're not just doing, like, you're still doing your homework and
Just
like
sounds
all
like a
that
doctorate
jazz.
or whatever.
It's pretty much that. It's like a baby doctorate program, which I guess that makes sense, right?
You had a whole thesis?
That's why I haven't finished, because I refused to write a thesis.
Why do you refuse to write a thesis?
Because I hated it. I hated that, like, the work that I was doing specifically.
Okay.
I was doing computational material science, and I really fucking hated it. Remember
Okay.
that one little project you helped me with, like,
Yeah.
writing that Python script?
Yeah.
Um,
Damn, it didn't work? Trash. I'm
no,
sorry.
it worked. It worked. It actually helped me. And then I realized that I never needed it, because, like, I could have, like, written my code to where, like, it already gave me those values instead of having to calculate them myself. Sorry, we're getting into the details here. But it's just annoying. No, but that associate's degree came up because that's the statistic here. So that's not even bachelor's degree, though, right? That's not a 4-year degree. That's just an associate's degree. So knowing that there's 69% of the population of people that look like us, have similar experiences as us, again, I'll say it, like, I know that it's not the end all be all, right? Like, you don't have to get a degree. But I think it just shows that we still have a lot of kind of room to grow in this space in higher education.
No, for sure. Absolutely.
But like, are you gonna like make your kids go to A&M?
Fuck no. No. Don't go to A&M, if anything.
Hey Chris, what is it kind of like right now during COVID? Like, do you feel like you're not even in college?
Yeah, but I feel like I've kind of felt that way all 4 years because I'm commuting still. So I'm still counting in my high
That's
school.
another thing. Yeah, like commuting versus like not. We didn't even talk about that. Like it's
I was gonna bring up kind of, but Denton is so far away that it kind of ends up being like a little college town. But I always
It
wondered
was-
that
it was a
about like
college town.
SMU and yeah, UTD. The fact that like it's
UTD is
here
a commuter school. They have no culture.
and yeah,
UTD has absolutely no culture.
right.
UTA is kind of almost the same way, but at least it's
Yeah.
Arlington.
No, that's another one. Yeah, like those schools, right? UTD. I know SMU does have a little bit more, and it's a bigger like,
SMU has
institution.
culture. Yeah.
But even those three, right? Like, cause like if I would have gone to SMU, I probably would have also commuted, and I could have seen myself being in a situation where I really didn't get involved again with the college experience.
So that's
you know?
another one that's weird that we don't have like the ability to like speak to. That's a private institution,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like A&M and UNT are both public institutions.
I probably would have hated all the rich white.
I think if you look at private institutions, like the minority demographic is shit.
Mm-hmm.
There is none. One of my really good friends, Ricardo, and my best friend growing up, Richard, went to SMU, and they can speak to it like not only is it a challenge because you said right like it was harder to like find people that look like you had to like kind of go look for them on the soccer field.
Yeah.
Um,
Where the Mexican? Where all my Latinos?
but at least like there's an ability to still like succeed here.
Yeah.
Like the culture at SMU was so bad that it actually was challenging. Like it like was a huge. I look at it less like a speed bump and more like an actual like physical obstacle that they had to get over. Because I'd imagine that like the judgment, like the way that they get looked at, the way they get perceived is just pretty negatively. Because rich white people kind of suck. So maybe that's some insight that we need to look
No
at.
argument here.
Maybe,
No, they
look
don't all
into.
suck. Okay, I know some nice rich white people.
Yeah, no, but I mean, like, I don't know. Do you have any like last takeaways? I feel like I can keep talking about this like topic forever.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Do you want to get into a quick bag of I always wonder about UNT. You say you don't have a lot of school spirit. Like, how do y'all do in like sports? Like, is there a
We suck at
culture
sports.
of like
We suck at sports.
UNT pride, mean green? Like, or is that like just
Yeah.
Because you said that about UTD. I think that about UTD. They don't
Yeah.
really even them.
See, like, I look fondly upon like my time at UNT. Like for the most
But
part.
I'm saying like while you're there, is there like this like
no,
that's all? Yeah,
no.
UNT.
No. I think everyone's pretty much just. And I think maybe that's what I appreciated. Everyone's just enjoying being in college.
Okay.
It's not about like the school itself. It's more so about like the experience.
I fuck with
Yeah,
that,
like the
man.
school tries to push like its spirit. Like, oh yeah, you know.
Wear green today, boys.
Yeah, and I'd be like, I don't give a fuck, but like I'm still fucking with like being here. You know what I'm saying? So like that's kind of cool within
Yeah,
its
have a
own right.
mascot.
Oh fuck. Yes, the Eagles. The
Yeah,
mean
but
green.
like they have a mascot that walks around their campus.
What is UTD? I thought
It's a creepy ass
It's a comet?
mascot, bro.
His name
It,
is T-Mock. It's coming backwards.
T-Mock. Oh, it's
he looks mad creepy, bro. I swear, he looks so fucking scary.
No, we have the white squirrel that I was alluding to earlier,
Uh-huh.
and apparently someone like ran it over one year, and it was like this huge.
Oh
like,
no!
But then another white squirrel showed up, and I was like, "Wait, this is a plant."
Where are all these
There's
albino
definitely
squirrels coming from?
Someone's planting a squirrel on this campus
Just white spray paint on the floor.
in the shape of a squirrel.
Jesus Christ.
Someone's job is to wake up and spray paint a new squirrel every day. Oh my god.
Oh my god, that's funny. Damn. Did y'all have that like? If you get hit by a bus, you get free like your tuition paid
I think
for?
that's what everyone. I think
Is that
every
everywhere?
university thinks that. I don't know if that's true at all.
That's another legend.
Because
Like passes.
motherfuckers on-
the test. Like everybody passes the exam.
if what happens?
If someone passes, well, like if someone in your class passes, and then everybody passes the exam, or everybody passes like the actual class, like yeah.
Like dies?
Oh, passes
Oh.
like dies.
He's the worst.
Yeah, use the worst
If someone
possible
passes,
word.
they all pass.
Ladies and
What the fuck are you
gentlemen.
talking
I
about?
don't want to say die.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a UTD education that you.
Don't let them fool you. They're idiots up there.
Also, if
that's
someone
such a
died-
morbid thing, bro.
I've heard that if your roommate dies, like if you're a freshman in a dorm and your roommate dies, that for that semester you pass all your classes.
Yo, that's so morbid. Why is that even like a thing that would be made up as a legend?
You shouldn't be spreading this.
I don't know. Hey, I'm here to.
What?
Hey, tell everyone else that I don't know. I'm here to keep spreading the misinformation. Call me
Shit's
Facebook.
so weird, bro. Hell no.
I've heard that one. The bus one I've heard as well. If you get hit by a bus, yeah, cause hey, motherfuckers on college campuses, bro, literally walk with like zero concern of like, hey, motherfuckers be on the phone, fucking be down the highway, just
Bro, dead
don't
ass.
give
One
a
time I
fuck.
almost got sprayed by a skunk because of that.
By a skunk.
Yeah, like that. I was like walking past my dorm, or whatever, and I'm like this, and literally like there's a trash can on the right. I remember this. There was like a trash can, and I look up, and a skunk just darts in front of me, like, and I just like stood still, like holy shit.
Oh, so you didn't almost get? I thought like it like sprayed in your vicinity.
Nah,
You
dog,
like
it
weaved
like
it.
literally was like here, like it, very.
He
no,
weaved the smell.
I'm just saying, bro. You ever been sprayed by a skunk? I want to get sprayed by a
No,
skunk.
I don't even think I've ever seen a skunk in real life.
Really?
Yeah, like I don't think they're creatures. Where do skunks live?
It's probably what the white squirrel is. It's called.
It's just someone just spray paints a line down this black cat or some shit. Like yeah, there's a skunk.
Here's a skunk.
A black squirrel. No,
Nah,
but
but-
UNT we didn't push like culture like that, but like I said, the people within itself I think made it what it was. Cause yeah, we sucked at football. We were good at basketball for like 1 year. We went to March Madness. That's so interesting though, cause your school is like a big sports school too. Y'all are in the SEC now. Like, did you care about like sports at all, like the football program or anything?
No, I didn't. I mean, I don't like football. Basketball was kind of cool, so I
Hey, tell the story of the first time you went to.
I've said the story on the podcast before, dude.
Oh, was it?
Yeah,
Is that when I heard it?
Yeah, it was
okay.
on here where I said it. Midnight Yell. Yeah, it's weird. Football is obviously a ginormous thing at A&M, right?
Yeah.
Like the pool days to get tickets are like they're crazy. Like it's like the freshmen go first or some shit.
I always
No,
wish
the seniors
that
go first.
I always wished I would have had a little bit more of that because like I'm a big sports fan just in general. So like not having any like
The tailgating is crazy. Like it's all crazy.
yeah. Did you ever go tailgating and stuff
Nah,
like that?
It's not my thing. So
See,
no.
like that's a part of the things that like I feel like you should definitely be doing and enjoying because it helps. Because I think that's why I look fondly upon.
No, maybe that's what I'm saying.
upon
Like
it.
I take a lot of responsibility on like the outcome. Why, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I didn't put in either, but like I didn't go to a single football game. I didn't go to a single tailgate.
Yeah.
It just if we had like had a soccer team that was popping, I would have. Well, I mean our women's team was popping, and I didn't go watch that either. So.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't really say that. But when our basketball team was cold, like we had that one little epic comeback with Alex Caruso. I don't know if you remember that.
I do remember that,
That was
actually
sick.
versus Wichita. Was it Wichita State?
I can't remember.
I forgot. I remember being like these fucking idiots.
It was like 15 seconds, like 12
It was
points
yeah. I
or
remember.
something
Like,
crazy.
yeah, I remember. Yeah, and Alex Caruso was on that team that
Yeah.
made that comeback. Yeah.
That was fucking epic.
Shout out to the White Mamba
I miss Caruso so much to
out
go.
there. Out there, he with the Bulls now, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. Shout out to the
Yeah,
boy.
the next Jordan, baby.
Him and Lonzo. No, yeah, but I mean, like I said, like they were just really good culture. I also was a part of Greek life, which I think is like
I almost was a part of Greek life.
yeah, no, I don't know if you wanted to divulge into that story,
Now we don't got to dive into it.
but like when we talked about organizations and all that stuff, like I think it's important to mention that you should kind of balance it out, right? Like they all shouldn't be
Take over your life.
educational in a way, right?
okay,
Like,
gotcha.
you know what I'm saying? Like ship and like, you know,
A little bit more
like
recreational.
SGA.
I'd
Yeah,
say.
some of them should be recreational, right?
Like,
Whether that's
join
like
the Quidditch team.
Quidditch, like sports, like intramural teams, like
Yeah.
Greek life is one if you think that's for you. My older sister was she was in Greek life when she went to UTA, so she was like, "Hey, you should go check it out when you get to college." And I was like, "Okay, cool." Like her husband now is he was in Greek life as well. He was a SIGEP. And he was like, "Yeah, you should go like to their house, like at the UNT." And I was like, "All right." So first day I landed in college, I go to the SIGEP house, and I remember thinking, like, I walked in, it was none but white people, and I was like, "All right, this is
I don't
cool."
think I've heard of that one. I don't know my Greek fraternities.
Yeah, I mean, this is like what do they call it?
I just know the two Latino ones, and then the Kappas and the Omegas.
Yeah,
And the
that's
alphas?
that's now like that's now
Is it Omegas?
the minorities one, right? Like the Divine Nine is what we're talking about. There's like majority historically black, and then there's MGC, Multicultural Greek
Yeah.
Council. That's where you have like the minority ones. No, but I'm talking about like the IFC is what they're called, I think. Where they're like the mainly white ones. But I walked into this house. Let me get to the story. I walked into this house, and I went with like these random dudes that I had met like during orientation. They were also white, and I remember being like, "Yo, what the fuck is this?"
Was
Like,
that ginormous mansion?
it one way was big. It was just so weird. Like, and it was a time where like shuffling was a thing, right? Because I was a freshman. And I literally sat down on the couch. This white dude's like,
My
"What's
videos.
up, bro? Like, do you want like a Red Bull or something?" I was like, "Yeah, sure, bro. I'll take a Red Bull."
Is it like a Drewski video?
Yeah, like it was like a very Drewski video type of shit.
Oh,
and
Kyle Rogers
I like
here?
sat on like yes, bro. Like that's exactly what they were like. And I like sat down on the couch and I was like, you know, just like kind of like observing thing. And then they started playing like shuffling music, and these two white girls like saw each other when like this song came on, and they were like ah, and then like they started shuffling in sync. Like they had like a whole routine together. I got up and walked out. I was like, this. Dude. I felt like I was in like the fucking Twilight Zone. I was like, what is happening here?
Greek culture is so crazy.
And so I told that to my sister, and I was like, hey,
y'all are weird.
That shit was weird. And she was like, go to a different one. Maybe they're weird there. Go to like. And so I went to another house. Same type of shit. I just
remember that video of like
did not fit in.
That sorority that's like, we're so glad you're finally here.
Oh, but when they open the door, and then they do like. And like they whip like their hair and shit,
yeah,
bro. Yeah,
it's like they're all like laying on top of each other or some shit.
Which like
so creepy.
Which, to be fair,
let's sacrifice some goats in there.
Any Greek life organization has a little bit of like cultish like undertone to it, right? Yeah. Like that kind of thing. Like
they wear hoods on the day of your initiation.
Like myself, yeah, for sure. Like I won't
and
like
masks.
Shy away from it, right? Like the whole pledging process, like everything, like is interesting. Weirdos. But I remember like. I want to speak a little bit more about like the Latino organizations. My first.
Hey, watch your mouth. That's my brothers you're talking about. So
Get the fuck. My first, and I was a little jaded coming into that scenario, but like I just didn't like the way they approached me. Although I think I appreciate now that they were trying to approach me. They just seemed very like superficial.
I think you think they were like not. Because you were in that cultural crisis.
Yeah, that's when I was in a cultural crisis where I didn't want to like be like as Latino as I knew that I was, right? So like, it was just weird. I feel like the only reason they approached me was because of like the pitch that they really gave me is like, hey, the hoes are gonna love you, and I was like, all right, bro, like cool. I don't care. I have a girlfriend.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? I
have a girlfriend. I don't care about the plenty of hoes.
I was still simp Rudy back then.
When I wear these letters.
Yeah, bro, it was just kind of weird, but nonetheless, like. I think I ended up where I wanted to, like where I belonged for sure, like what made the most sense. But I think before, like I thought negatively of some of like the those organizations. I think now I appreciate them more, right? I think that there's a lot of value in them. Like they're looking to kind of help do what we're doing with this podcast, right? Bring people that have similar backgrounds, similar demographics, that are in spaces that may be challenging. And you find comfort in people that are going kind of through the same journey as you.
I think that's what I was drawn to and where I tried. My problem with it was just like their whole little, I guess, like the screening process essentially. Yeah. Like I'm just like, bro, like
Cameron's a bitch. He don't want to pledge.
Nah, it's not even that. My pledge process was whack. Like it wasn't even like difficult.
Let's not get into it.
Yeah, it wasn't even like crazy. It's just the fact that there is like a process. Like, bro, like.
It was just
why
weird.
do I have to like qualify myself to like?
You have to. I feel like if you're gonna do it, you have to go one of two ways. You have to like just leave it alone. Don't try to like half-ass the shit. Like go hard or go home. Basically, is the way that I look at it. Like you know what I'm saying? Like don't do it just for the sake of doing it. Like go hard or go home.
Yeah.
So yeah.
No, I was just saying like a lot of these people I was already like friends with. So I'm like, bro, why are you acting like this, bro?
Yeah. For
like
sure.
we're already cool. Like what the fuck? Why I gotta do this to like be more of a friend with you? Like what the fuck? That was my problem. But regardless, like I see that's what I made. Like I said, it drew me to it because I wanted to be part of like.
I think when I look back on it, like I see a lot of value in it. And no, I think I appreciate that the fact that there's an effort to make, like I said, bring people like us together. I think that's where the focus should be, right? Like not on like the other things. Although like when you're an 18-year-old kid walking on campus, right? Like that's probably they probably know that a lot of those kids care about that kind of shit. What year did you pledge? 2016. It was like my last year. I pledged
like my fucking junior year, like my spring semester, my junior year. I was already like a 20-year-old. I was like, dude, fuck you. Like I don't know.
Yeah, same.
I'm too old for this.
For me, it was more so I had to wait because Kappas were kicked off the yard.
Well,
we were suspended for a long time. No, yeah, but I mean, hey, when you go to school, like I said, I think the whole thing is like, join organizations, have fun, leverage the network that you have. It's important. Like I said, these numbers that we just talked about a little bit.
Don't stay in your dorm like I did my freshman year.
Yeah, just go out and engage and really get the most out of it because the saying, right, it's not what you know, it's who you know, is actually very, very true. So I think we can leave it at that. And I think any conversation further here is going to be more about like, corporate world and
you want to tell
jobs.
You want to tell the people our change of plan? We're moving to Mondays.
Oh yeah. So there's been a little bit of shift.
Just at the beginning.
Yeah, sorry, we should have kind of jumped that in before we end. We just give you a little
that to the beginning.
Get a little rundown. I think we're shifting a little bit on the way we're dropping podcasts. I think to make it easier for ourselves and for Johnny, who does a lot of work for our YouTube. So we want to be fair to him. We were kind of asking a lot of him to have a quick turnaround time. So. Yeah, you'll see episodes drop on Monday mornings. And we've also seen more people like hop on the YouTube recently, so appreciate y'all. Keep watching it, you know what I'm saying? I know we kind of...
Stay tuned on Mondays. Follow us.
Yeah, follow the IG, follow the YouTube.
Scattered Roots Pod. Check us out on TikTok.
Yes, I'm gonna make a commitment to post TikToks. Fuck, it's on fucking video now on camera.
That's why I said it.
I have to do it now. Johnny's staring at me glaringly. Okay, I will do it. Yeah, follow us on the TikTok, Scattered Roots Pod. I'll actually post them on the IG for people that follow us. So I think with that being said, Kevin, any closing remarks?
No, señor.
All right. Hey, and remember, soy la 69.
Adios.
Adios.